People died in this explosion, and you're going to lose your incentive bonus this year? What happened in the Merrimack Valley is horrible, plain and simple. It is even more infuriating that this is not the first time that Columbia Gas and NiSource have failed to provide safe gas service to its customers. Mr. Bryant, you're the president of Columbia Gas. That means the buck stops with you. The NTSB reports reveal unambiguous failures by the company that you run that contributed to this tragedy. I just want to know, do you take personal responsibility for the breakdowns that led to these explosions?
Senator, I take responsibility for the actions in the company.
So you take personal responsibility here. Can I ask you the same question, Mr. Hamrock? You're the CEO of NiSource, the company that owns Columbia Gas. The NTSB reports also clearly identify failures by NiSource that contributed to this tragedy. Do you take personal responsibility for this tragedy?
Senator, yes, I take responsibility for the culture as well, as you noted, and safety is our core value. It drives everything we do.
So let me ask you what personal responsibility means to you. Mr. Hamrock, how much were you paid last year?
My compensation is a matter of public record, and it's in the range of $5 million.
$5 million, okay. And Mr. Bryant, how much were you paid last year?
My compensation was approximately $550,000.
Mr. Hamrock, has your pay been reduced as a result of this disaster?
Senator, again, I take full responsibility.
That's a yes or no question. Has your pay been reduced as a result of this disaster?
I fully expect to be held accountable, with compensation being an important part of that, and in fact have recommended to our board that my bonus be withheld.
So your bonus may be withheld in the future. Mr. Bryant, was your pay reduced as a result of this action?
Senator, a significant portion of my compensation, above $230,000, is incentive compensation. I have suggested to Mr. Hamrock that any payment of any incentive in this year
People died in this explosion, and you're going to lose your incentive bonus this year? I just want to figure out what personal responsibility means to you two. You kept your jobs, and you're still getting paid what sounds like a lot of money. And I want to know what personal responsibility means here. Let me ask you another question. Who exactly at Columbia Gas has been held responsible for the shortcomings that were identified in the NTSB report? Have you fired anyone?
The most important thing is that we get to the core set of facts and understand what happened, who's accountable, make sure we make a consistent and complete set of recommendations.
Let me stop you there. The most important thing is not just that we find out what happens. The most important thing is that we make changes so that it doesn't happen again.
I agree.
And I started my line of questions with how many times you have stood up and said, in effect, publicly, this will not happen again. Yes, there's been an accident, there's been a mistake, but we're going to improve safety and this will not happen again. I'm not seeing a company that takes safety seriously, and I'm not seeing people at the head of the company who take any personal accountability for the kind of tragedy that a culture that is not focused on safety causes to the public. The people in this room have been injured. You have not. You continue to keep your jobs, to collect your big paychecks, and to go on about your business. Personal responsibility means you step up in this, not simply that you back away and say you'll figure out how other people can deal with this problem.